let's go on a really fun ride. I'm in Florida. I was living in Florida, and there was this amazing Volkswagen yellow bug. And I know I did not wear yellow intentionally. Actually, I wasn't even planning on recording this video, to be honest with you. But I'm telling you this story because I want you to understand this psychic ability, and most psychic mediums have this ability. I know I do. So I'm living in Florida at the time. I lived in Florida for 6 years, and there was this fabulous yellow Volkswagen bug. And where I lived, I lived on the second floor, so we had to walk upstairs. And I remember I absolutely hated this bug. I was amazing at this. There's nothing against Volkswagen or Volkswagen bugs. It was just this one specific car. And I didn't want to ever, because it was a Volkswagen bug, I wouldn't park near it. I would actually go out of my way to park further away from it and walk longer to get to my apartment. So one day I decided I just had bad energy. Have you ever been around somebody that just has bad energy? This bug just had bad energy and I didn't want to be near it. So one day I took up enough courage to go over and touch it. Put my hand on it, and it was so bad. This energy, this vibe I got was just so dark. I couldn't keep my hand on it. I didn't want to look into it. I didn't want to feel anything. I didn't want to see anything. I didn't want to know anything because it absolutely terrified me. It terrified me, like total darkness, like the depths of just evil. So I didn't want to touch it or look anymore. I just ran. I ran and hid in my bedroom in my apartment. And I lived by myself at the time too. So I was really scared of this bug that was yellow. But these girls are so cute. So a couple of days later, I hear my neighbor, and I was in my early 20s at the time, and I hear her screaming in the night, and we shared a common wall where our like dining kitchen area was. The rest was all like no common walls because there was only two of us that lived on that side. And she was screaming for her life, like this. It was just like the worst, horrible screaming you could ever hear for help, and that she's being murdered. And it was gut-wrenching terror. Help, he's killing me. He's trying to kill me. And I remember being like, I called 911, and I can still hear that horror of someone screaming for their life, because she was literally screaming for her life. And the police came. Of course, someone came to the door. I remember them having to bust in the door to help her because they could hear her screaming too. It was just absolutely horrific. She's okay. She's alive. And they arrested the guy who was her boyfriend who lived there. And of course, there was all the legal system took its place and stuff. And he was the person who owned and drove the yellow bug. Because I remember him coming out. The police and I went over there to make sure she was okay, or she didn't want to go to the hospital, because she was like me. They didn't have like a lot of family there, and I just kind of knew her in passing. I'd only seen him once or twice, and I knew I'd seen him once or twice drive that car. And that's what psychometry is touching an object. Like how I touched that car, the bug, and felt such horrible energy. I mean, I'd already felt it before even touching it, but feeling such horrible negative energy. It's being able to touch an object and read it. I didn't want to look into it, but it's usually touching an object and being able to read from it, either the energy of a person usually somebody who's crossed over, but you can read it from people who are living too. And that's also why psychic mediums like myself can read photos of people who've crossed over. It's a faster way to connect with somebody who's crossed over as well, because you can quickly read and tap into that energy. So that's what psychometry is. It's touching something, reading the energy off of it, and getting information or messages from people who've crossed over from the other side. So that's why when I'm shown photos, I can quickly tap into specific things, or sometimes it's people who are still living if I'm reading those objects too. So I thought that would help explain what psychometry is and why I'm reading photos so easily. And probably some of you have that ability too. You can just naturally touch something on occasion, and you don't know why you're picking up on some kind of energy, why you really like something, or why something feels so good, or something feels naturally so precious, and you don't know why, even though it might not look that way, because it's really precious to someone, or was. Or you might just feel like that card that was so fabulous and new and cute and yellow. I just didn't understand why I didn't like it. And when I touched it, I felt terror and horror and evil. I didn't know why. A card shouldn't feel that way. Because it was affiliated with a person who had that kind of energy, who was trying to murder someone, obviously, a little later. So sometimes you might touch things or feel things, and I wanted to explain that to people who might have that ability, so you're not caught off guard of, why do I feel this? Well, it's okay if you feel that. It's a psychic ability, and pretty much every psychic medium has that ability. But some psychics have that ability. Not every psychic, but some psychics are really good with that. So don't be caught off guard if that just comes to you. It's okay. It is an ability. So I thought that was the easiest way to explain it, based on my experience with a really unique one at one point. But I mean, I can do it with a lot of things, but I thought that was an interesting story. So if you have any photos you would like me to look at for you and read, I want to be able to do that for you, of people who've crossed over, or unique images that you might have captured and you're not sure what they are. If you're not sure if it's lighting, or if you're not sure if it's orbs, or if you're not sure if it's like something in the sky, you can just send them to me. I have my email in the description box, but I'll also put it in the link below. And I'm happy to start to do live streams and read everyone's photos for them for free, because I think everyone should have access to that. If you're looking for somebody maybe who's crossed over, doesn't mean I can read everybody's photos. Because if I can't connect with somebody, I will be honest and say, I can't read something from this photo. I'm not going to mislead anybody and just try to make things up. But if I can read something, I will let you know. And then if anyone has had a unique experience, please let us know. I would love to hear that other people are out there who can also do this. Bye.